Hello. We seem to be struggling. Oh, there we go. We've got some people joining now. Okay, that's a little bit slow. I was a bit worried then. How are we doing? Okie dokie. Right, so I am live. I am on YouTube as well. So if anyone wants to go to YouTube and have a look at my screen when I'm jumping around, feel free. Links are in my bio. Might change that background actually. There we go. That's a better one. There we go. Right, okay, how are we doing? So, Bitcoin, if you're on YouTube, you can see it there. We are on the daily, we're getting squeezed down into that descending support line, resistance line, and we are definitely getting pushed into a corner. The weekly, we are in the corner. So I think, as I was saying last week, another week or two, and we will see that break to the upside or the downside. Of course, macroeconomic-wise, I would say downside. We've seen a bit of a downward pressure at the moment. We could see a little bit of a rally up towards 19.5. I wouldn't put it any higher than that, and I think it breaks down quite strongly after that. A little bit bearish maybe, but we are in a bear market. We are in recessions. Let's have a look. Thank you for the follow, Right Sparks. I appreciate that. Crow Coin, yeah, I really like Crow. I know that they've made 2,000 redundancies, which is 40% of their staff. It is sizable. They are not the only exchange to do this. They were the first really to openly withdraw rewards for their spends and things, and staking rewards were slashed. So not looking great from that aspect. But I think out of all the exchanges, the growing exchanges, they are still my favorite. For me personally, I still hold Crow Coin. I might not stake anymore come January. I might not spend on it. I will find somewhere else to do that, but I'm still going to hold Crow Coin. I think it'll do well next bull run still. Did you hear right? The co-founder of Quant also works with Hedera. It wouldn't surprise me at all, because Quant obviously is not biased against blockchains or hashgraph projects. They will work with anyone. They are agnostic. They have no loyalties. They just want to make blockchains work. So I didn't know that one personally, but it would not surprise me at all. Crypto Tony, welcome, buddy. Good to see you here. I hope you're very, very well. Thank you for hitting those likes, people. I do appreciate the support. Been on just a couple of minutes, and we're up towards 1,000 already, so that is absolutely superb. If anyone wants to jump across to YouTube, feel welcome. As I say, I am charting on there. Bitcoin, with my support and resistance levels and my trading channels, would indicate that we are approaching a definite crunch point at the moment in the next week or so. User 97819, thank you for that, Tony. Appreciate the share, buddy. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate your hard work, people. Just smashing those likes. Thank you. So yeah, Bitcoin is going down at the moment. I do think we're being squeezed into the bottom of a triangle. And one of two things will happen when that happens. The market will pop up or it will break down. Of course, as I've said before, I am short-term bearish. I do think we'll probably revisit and retest 17.5 at some point. And this might just be it. This might just be crunch time. Zooming out to the weekly, we're already down in the bottom of that descending triangle, into the bottom of that triangle. So again, we've spent 4 weeks popping off the bottom of that support line, and I would expect to break down. We did have massive volume 2 weeks ago, but that seems to have completely disappeared on the weekly chart and on the daily chart. Sad XRP is back below 50. Yeah, XRP below 50 isn't great. But as I said, I put a TikTok out there the other day. You've got to look at the bigger picture. We were at 30 cents 4 weeks ago. I'm happy with 66% gains where we are right now. I think that's still fantastic for this bear market. Quant is the only other token that I like that's outperformed that. Quant is up 400%, so it's a 4x up 300% in the last 4 months. I mean, that is phenomenal. $40 to $160. That is superb. XRP though, I mean, it's brilliant performance. It is pure speculation, though. There's speculation as to whether or not the SEC and Ripple are going to settle, whether there's an end in sight. I think people are more excited about it now than recent months, because I think there's not a lot else to get excited about. I think it really could be as simple as that. There's not a lot else to be excited about, so they're really starting to get excited about XRP. And whilst I love XRP and Ripple and the use case for doing that, I think come ISO as well, we will see whether ISO really makes a difference, or whether it's a buy the rumor, sell the news event with enormous proportions. I think there's some really good content coming out from people as well who understand that ISO does not guarantee a crypto success. They could be certified to work with these companies to adhere to those financial standards of practice, in effect, but they don't make it a better system. They are helping the companies to achieve that objective, and any one of them or none of them could be chosen to support that. Mahmoud Farhar, thank you for joining us in the AMA last night. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a hugely informative AMA with Chrome on Mars. Great project. We've got another one for you next Monday as well, so be sure to hop onto the Discord and check that out as well. That one is going to be with a Serenity Shield. This is a fantastic, proper blockchain utility use case, brilliant security use case. Please come across and check out the link to their Discord and the things that are in my bio as well. So you'll find the invite to the AMA and their links in my bio. Go check it out, and I hope to see some of you there on Monday. It is a fantastic project, and we are having some senior people from their team in that AMA as well. So you're going to get the chance to ask them, whatever probing questions you like. This is the second round of their pre-sale coming up. So our AMA is the night before that pre-sale, so we've got a really good slot. So they're going to be really hyped for the AMA, and as I said, it's a brilliant project as well. Opinions on Swissborg. Swissborg I've never used. I do have colleagues in the space that have used it and are very happy with it, but I couldn't give it a personal reference, unfortunately. Do I believe Quant will go below $75? I mean, never say never. I mean, I remember when Quant in the bull run hit nearly 400, and I was telling people there's no way Quant will ever see $100 again. There's no way it could retrace that far. It was too strong a use case, and we came down a full-on 90%. We've bounced back. We've done 3x from there, or 4x from there, 300% up. But you can't rule anything out in crypto. And if crypto has a big crash, as I said earlier, looking at the charts, the daily charts and the weekly charts, we're being pushed into the corner of a triangle. One of two things is going to happen. It's going to break to the upside, or it's going to break to the downside. Given the macroeconomics right now, which would you say it's going to be? Me personally, I'm saying it's going to break down. I think we will start heading towards the true bottom of this bear market. We will retest 17.5, in my opinion, and then we'll take it from there. There's no volume on Bitcoin anymore. The volume's gone. It's gone on the daily. It's gone on the weekly. It might be tradable on the 4-hourly because that's been kind of flat for a while now. Descending, though, from sort of 20.4, 20.5. We've come all the way down now to below 19. So even the 4-hourly is looking weak. The hourly is still very erratic, but generally a downward trend. We are downwards into the corner of this triangle, which would suggest to me it's incredibly weak. But yeah, long story short, Quant will follow Bitcoin to a degree if it dumps. And yes, we could see 75 again, but there's no guarantees of anything in this crypto game. I think XRP has been pumped, so it survived the Bitcoin drop. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that theory as well, that this could be a manipulated pump, so that when the true Bitcoin crash happens, kind of XRP returns to its original price of 30 cents a few weeks ago. It would make sense if someone had orchestrated that, but how do you orchestrate something with that much volume? XRP is very difficult to manipulate now. There's so much supply. You would be talking massive volumes. And whilst there has been significant volume, it doesn't appear to be a manipulation. It's a very organic, healthy chart. But that in itself might cast doubt on it and say, well, why is it that healthy? Is it being created to be that healthy? I've become very suspicious in this crypto game. And although I love an XRP and I appreciate why it's pumping, it's because of all the good news and rumors in the news. It is just that. It could be one giant buy the rumor, sell the news event. We don't know. Thoughts on Near? Near is not one I've researched deeply at all, so I'm not familiar with that at all. I know it's got decent utility, but I've never really dived into it. Any reason why H bar is up to date? Let's have a look at H bar. Is that still on my list? It's not on my charting list, so I'm going to go to good old coinmarketcap.com. So let's have a look at H bar. I'm not aware of any news on that, other than the fact that someone else has just mentioned that one of their team might be affiliated with Quant, and obviously Quant is very, very strong right now, up 300% or a 4x in the last 4 months. H bar, come on, give me H bar. There we go. Sorry, the computer's going a little bit slow. Because I'm streaming live on YouTube as well, it does tend to slow down. So let's have a look. So, yeah, I mean, H-bar's done well. It's up a couple of percent today, which is kind of against the run of play a little bit. It's not a huge pump. It might just be an accumulation. I mean, H-bar will be one that is accumulated as and when the market drops. It is a decent utility project. I don't hold it myself because I don't think it's going to give a quick enough ROI, but I think long term it's solid, and you may well just see some long term investment being picked up, whilst it's below 6 cents. Bricks and Slides, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you for smashing those likes. People still above 2K. That's absolutely fantastic. Will Quant go to £35 again? I mean, we're getting lower and lower on Quant. And as I said, Quant, you can't rule anything out. It will follow the market down. If we crash, everything will crash. Quant for me, though, as I said, 300%, a 4x in 4 months, that's strong. I would expect a correction at some point anyway, but if Bitcoin drops hard, we could see a massive correction. And yes, we could see 50% or more come off. But, will it happen? Yes or no? I don't know. Polkadot is actually my biggest hold in Sicky days. It's not my most bullish project. My most bullish project is Quant. But Polkadot I hold more than anything else of, because I went in very heavily to the Polkadot parachain auctions. So I was crowd loaning a lot of projects on there. So I hold a lot more DOT than anything else, significantly more. There are a few projects catching that up, but DOT is still way in the lead. Cardano, I don't really like Cardano. I know that there's a lot of work going on in it in the moment. It may well bring out some good dApps for general use case, but I just find it dull as dishwater. And they went to sleep last year, which doesn't inspire me with confidence in the team. Google and Near partnership. I mean, it'd be interesting to see who Google partner with. Usually they just make their own thing or buy someone out. So Google partner with someone's quite unusual. They usually just buy them out. Are NFTs going to make a comeback? I think yes. Utility NFTs do definitely have a purpose. There are still some fantastic NFT projects out there. It's just that if you imagine NFTs and gaming and metaverse is very much in crypto space like a disposable income type of thing at the moment. We had two ways that it could go after the bull run. It could become a self-sustaining cottage industry, or it could fall flat on its face because no one had any spare crypto. And it seems to have done the latter. It seems to have fallen flat on its face because the money's coming out of crypto. So I think once the money returns, NFTs will come back, but we'll start to see more of a utilitarian use case for them. And there are some really good NFT projects out there. Do I anticipate that one day Bitcoin won't be the lead crypto? I think so. I mean, there is a possibility that could happen, given the fact that obviously it's still proof of work. That is incredibly frowned upon for environmental reasons. The mining power required to mine that Bitcoin is incredibly high. You've got whole countries devoting power plants and things to it. So it is going to be frowned upon. It's not environmentally friendly. It's not sustainable. What happens when the Bitcoin halvings really start topping out? It's already not viable for a lot of people to mine Bitcoin. So you've seen the hash rate um, fluctuate wildly. So yeah, I mean, the future of Bitcoin doesn't necessarily look bright. It might just be a store of value, but it might not be the store of value. I mean, we've got a lot of projects with better tokenomics. I mean, just as an example, Yearn Finance. It's got better tokenomics, and you can use it. And just as an example, there's lots of projects out there with very, very good tokenomics, and Bitcoin doesn't do a lot at the moment. There's some layer twos building on it to try and use it better, but it doesn't do a lot other than store of value, and it's really, really not environmentally friendly, and they can't really change it. Mining Tama long term, I think Tama was a spectacular run up, but like most meme orientated projects, it ran down. Its association with Doge is probably the only thing that could save it for me. I did buy some. I did FOMO. I get FOMO too. I bought in when it was 150 million plus. That was stupid. I should shoot myself now. But I FOMO'd in, and it dropped 40% the next day. Luckily, I didn't go crazy with it. But I should have listened to someone 3 weeks ago when they were telling me to buy it, not 2 weeks, not last week. Thank you for the follows and the likes, people. Really appreciate that that support. Thank you. Bacon Sandwich, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Glad you could join us again tonight. Some exciting news with Barclays and copper. It is, yeah. Barclays have bought into copper. The use case. I ran that story, I don't know, 5-6 weeks ago. I did get it slightly wrong because I read it as in they bought copper outright for £2 billion or $2 billion. But they haven't. They have invested in a $2 billion company, which is copper. But they are, Barclays were one of the ones in the UK that stopped us from buying crypto on exchanges. Now all of a sudden they're setting things up for institutional investors. It's a great big manipulation. I don't like banks. That's why a lot of us are in crypto, to try and get rid of banks. But Barclays aren't stupid. They're going to try and find a way to utilize that. Just like BlackRock are and people like that, they're trying to find ways to get their big spenders into crypto and start using them. Love the AMA last night. Anyone who missed it, don't miss the next one. It'll be a banger. Thank you, Bacon Sandwich. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I mean, the AMA with Crow on Mars last night was fantastic. I mean, it's one that I really wanted people to come and listen to, because I think, and I've said this to the team myself, outwardly, you could be forgiven for thinking it looks a bit, Crow on Mars is a bit of a strange name for a serious project, but it is a serious project. Got a great team. They've got some partnerships. They're working with Chainlink. They've got a success manager with Chainlink, which is absolutely fantastic news. The supply is fixed at 1 billion, 73% already in supply. There's no VCs in the mix yet, mucking up the tokenomics. The main aim is the metaverse, but they've got the P2E, they've got the NFTs. They're done. They're out. So it's an exciting project, and I'm glad I could get them in to explain it. It's a fantastic look. And then next week we've got Serenity Shield, which is a completely different type of project, I'm pleased to say. Very professional, very utilitarian on blockchain. Fantastic use case. If you haven't heard of them, the link to their socials and the AMA is in my bio. Please go and check it out. I really need as many people in that AMA as we can get in there next Monday. And that way I can keep providing these AMAs completely free to the Discord, keep getting these products in, keep sharing that information. Serenity Shield aren't out yet. They are, this AMA is on the eve of their second round of pre-sale. So, it's going to be an exciting night for them and for us. So there's a lot of alpha there, hopefully, that we can get out of them. Impact project going to be 50x. Impact isn't one I'm familiar with at all, I'm afraid. I really don't know. Near Protocol partnered with Google Cloud, so that means that Google Cloud are going to get into the data storage game. Well, they're already in the data storage game, aren't they? Let's face it. But they're going to go crypto market as well. So that is going to be a bit of a concern for people like Filecoin if they're going to start competing with people like Google. They don't want to use getting the money. Yeah. happens with XRP and SEC. Last night was really informative. Yeah, not a problem, Tom. Not a problem. As I said, I really love doing the AMAs. I think I'm going to try and get more and more of these AMAs in. At the moment, it's projects that I really like, but I'm going to try and broaden it to basically any project that wants to come in. I think it gives great value to the Discord, which is completely free anyway, so that's fantastic. But to be able to give you access to these AMAs, to speak with projects and ask you questions directly, to allow them to educate us about their projects, it's a win-win. I completely love it. I really enjoyed the AMA last night. I've done one before, and it did make me think I'd like to do a lot more of them. I've got one last night, one next Monday, and I'm really excited. I'm trying to get as many AMAs in as I can. So I am beginning to spam a few projects, trying to get them out to have a word with us. What are my thoughts on Filecoin? I just touched on it. Filecoin at the moment in the crypto space was one of the biggest kind of centralized storage solutions. Sorry, decentralized storage solutions. The use case is fantastic, but if Google Cloud are now entering the arena and they partner with Near, that could cause some issues and competition for Filecoin at last. So that could be really interesting. Serenity is solving a real problem. It 100% is. And for anyone who's not familiar, that Serenity Shield, that is the AMA next week. They've basically got a strongbox solution. So if you're like me and you're into crypto, obviously, I'm 45. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've got children. I've got a family. I've got a wife. They wouldn't know how to access my crypto. They wouldn't know where I keep my details, although I try to tell them, but they don't listen. It's crypto. But the Serenity Shield solution is part of their project. Part of their solution is this strongbox, which is patented as well. There is a patent on this, so they can store your keys securely, completely privately. And obviously, should the worst ever happen, then that's free to then be released and shared to your designated next of kin. So yeah, I mean, and it's proper use case for the token. It's a brilliant project. Please check it out. I'm going to go on too much. I could talk about them for ages. Swift, Chainlink, Ripple, XRP, interoperability, and global. Yeah, I mean, Chainlink's still going to be there. It's still going to be part of the Oracle solution for many blockchains. I mean, I like Quant for its over ledger technology, but interoperability and Oracle services, Chainlink's still going to be top. Anything about ETH? Not really. I mean, I still need to research the full implications of the merge, to be honest with you, and see what happens. Proof of work, proof of stake. Proof of work seemed to have a little bit of a kind of traders manipulation and a bit of a rise. It's fallen again a little bit, but I still think there could be a future for proof of work with ETH, but we'll see. Matty, you're more than welcome, mate. I don't mind putting in that hard work at all. As I said, I'm more than happy. That's the kind of stuff I want to do. It's not all about me doing the research, but I would spend some time speaking to these projects to try and get them in, because I think if we can get them in, it helps educate everyone about how these things are done from the inside out. And if it's a project you're interested in, then of course you get to ask questions you might have any concerns with before you invest. It's a win-win opportunity for everyone involved. Is it too late to buy Chainlink? For me personally, no. I personally think if you're looking to accumulate Chainlink, it's approaching a really good buy price. I mean, $7.19 right now on the hourly chart. Let's have a look. I don't really want it on the hourly. Let's go back to the hourly on Bitcoin. Let's go back to the daily on Chainlink. So Link, yeah, just under $7.20 on the daily. We've got a really good level. I mean, it could still dip back down if we have a bit of a nasty session. It could still see less than $5.50, but that'd be a really nasty dip. I think anything below, for me, anything below $6 on Chainlink is a bargain, because I would hold it 2-3 years until the next bull run. And the great thing about Chainlink is it's an oracle. So it's a service to other blockchains. So if blockchains fail during this bear market, Chainlink are still going to be there to rebuild, and they will do really well. And I would expect to see the highs that we had in the previous bull run, and that was, come on, let's chart it out quickly. Chainlink got up over $50, and I would think it should easily do that again in the next bull run. I think Chainlink is real quality. So there's definitely still possibilities there for Chainlink long term. Not financial advice, of course. It is my own personal opinion. But yeah, bullish on Chainlink. Yeah, I mean, Chainlink for me is huge. I'm not Cronon Mars. Ian's in here, so fair play to you, Ian. As I said, brilliant AMA last night. Thank you. And of course, you love Chainlink. Chainlink are your partner. Well, they're helping you out with the project. You've been in touch with them all the way through, and you're doing some fantastic work with them. So that is really, really good for everyone else to hear. We're having nothing but positive feedback as well, which is absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed the AMA, and hopefully, we'll have many more. Thoughts on ICP? ICP is one of my biggest holds. I do have quite a bit staked on the NNS governance service. So I've got some staked for 8, 6, 4, and 2 years. I do believe ICP, if it's going to be successful, will be in years. So it's completely different tech. But the great thing about it, and the thing where almost every other layer 1 blockchain or every other network is failing, is security. Every time you go off chain, every time you cross bridge, that creates an inherent weakness. ICP, everything's done on ICP. It does not leave ICP. It's operable. It can interact with Bitcoin and Ethereum all on chain. It doesn't need to leave. You don't need any extra bits and pieces. It's completely secure. Now, once people realize that, I think ICP takes off. It is different. It's a different technology. But I think if you're looking forward to a future where things are secure, where these weaknesses aren't inherent in blockchain, whilst you can have great interoperability and overledger technology to help keep it secure, it's never going to be truly secure if you need something to interact in the middle to go from one blockchain to another. But ICP is truly on chain. It's all in one big bubble. Hey, Lisa, thank you. I'm glad you learned a lot last night. It was a fantastic AMA. Thank you. Thank you for the follows and thank you for the likes, people. Really do appreciate it. Any idea about smart gain on OKX and the interest? OKX is definitely what I'm looking to. They seem to have come out of nowhere to a massive, massive market cap. And some of their staking looks really, really competitive. At one point, they were offering 70% on Moonbeam. That caught my attention for sure. But by the sounds of it, Smart Gain is probably a bit like Crypto.com's Supercharger. It's a limited time offer. I will have a look at OKX because it's definitely of interest. I need to find somewhere where I can stake my ICP and DOT without locking it up for too long, because I am going to continue to accumulate that. Lunar Classic, believe in its revive. Not for me. I think some of the numbers are great, and if you're happy to hold it for 10, 15, 20 years, whilst the crypto space evolves around your ears, then fine. I think it'll take that long before it makes any real difference in price. The only thing that actually pumps Lunar Classic are the people buying it. And then you'll get the people that have been buying it from the beginning that dump on you. Lunar Classic for me is now the pure definition of a meme token. There's no one running the project. It's got a 1.2% burn tax. The community cry to exchanges to get them to do the burns. Otherwise, they're screwed. And I don't think they'll do it forever. I think they'll get the people on board on the exchange, and then they'll stop supporting Lunacy, and it'll die. What's my price prediction on ICP like in 10 years? For me, ICP could be absolutely massive. I mean, I listen to Crypto is Good a lot, and he said that in 10 to 15 years, 5,000 is not out of the realms of possibility. I think that's very ambitious. I think if ICP for me gets to $150, $200, that's when I start taking some profit. But I can sell 10% of my holdings at $100, and I'll more than double my money. I've been into ICP dollar cost averaging for a long time. I've built up a decent bag, and I'm earning more all the time. Let's have a look. Matic, any prospects? I think Polygon Matic is probably one of the only Ethereum projects I like. It is the best layer 2 on Ethereum. I say that it's not the only one that I like. On Matic itself, I like QuickSwap and Aave as well. I think they're great options, especially in a bull run. They came out with some great DeFi solutions, some great DeFi solutions in there. But Matic's really strong because it's gaining adoption for NFTs. It's gaining adoption from Disney. Many projects coming over to Matic from Luna. I think it's going to have a very strong couple of years as we come out this bear market. Thor, I don't really know a lot about, I'm afraid. Matic is setting itself up to hit the gaming market. I agree 100%. Matic is going to be really competitive in the NFT, metaverse, and gaming space. I don't think you can underestimate how powerful Matic is in that area. ETH technology is still probably the best technology out there at the moment. ICP, of course, in development, I would argue is probably better. Also, I would also argue at the moment that Moonbeam and Moonriver can do what ETH does better because it's got the benefits of Polkadot and Kusama. But that's an argument. Right now, in absolute use case and adoption, Matic is going to slay it. Definitely one that I hope to accumulate over the next few months. I do get some free Matic. I've got a very small amount in a little compounder, but it doesn't do a lot. Have I got or heard of Eternity Chain? I have heard of Eternity Chain. I think I might have looked at it once. It didn't capture my imagination, but I've got a lot of projects that I like already, and for anything to break into that list of things that I like now is going to be really difficult. My focus is, I'm trying to hone my focus because I can be very much of a magpie. Anything that looks new, shiny, and half decent, I get very excited about. So I'm trying to narrow that focus. Do I think Cake will make it to new all-time highs in 2025? Cake is still the dominant DEX on BSC. The problem it's got is that next time round, it's going to have an awful lot of competition. So all-time highs, possibly not, but I still think it'll be really good. I am holding Cake. I am staking it. I've got it in the IFO farms because they are still releasing products every now and again. So for me, Cake's still a yes, but I'm not going heavily into it. ICP so cheap at the moment. I agree, 100%. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, if you're holding it long term, what's the difference between buying ICP now and buying ICP at $4? Nothing. XRP, XLM, and Quant quality holds, Neo. I like all of those. XRP I still hold. I'm just not dollar cost averaging right now. XLM, I've got a small bag, and that is definitely on my list of things to accumulate. And Quant for me is my absolute outright favorite. My one concern with Quant right now is that we're in a bit of a hype bubble with Quant. Everyone's getting very excited with ISO and CBDCs, as they should be. I'm just a little bit worried that if ISO doesn't go to plan and things don't happen on time, Quant could really be hit very hard by the rumour sell the news type events. Think Solana will bull again in the next bull market? Solana, no, not for me. It is currently a very good solution and very much dominant in the NFT space as an alternative to Ethereum. However, the network is not reliable. It is not safe. It can't even operate properly in a bear market when there's low traffic. The network is a joke, and they're not fixing it. So why would it survive? No reason at all. So for me, Solana's a big no-no. I think it will come back price-wise, just not all-time high. Super Bear joining us on YouTube. Welcome, buddy. I hope you're very well. Loving the AMAs from last night. Thank you. You're absolutely welcome. As I said, I really enjoyed doing that AMA. It was great to have everyone in there. We had a really good response, actually. I mean, obviously I'm not the biggest creator, but our Discord's a really good space. And we had a constant 35 or more in that AMA, which is really good. You go to some Twitter spaces, they don't have that. And they've got far bigger followings. So you all did me proud last night, and you asked some fantastic questions. So I know myself and the team at Chrono Mars really enjoyed that AMA. It was really good. So thank you all for being there. Have I seen much of the Charles Hoskins drama on Twitter? Ada isn't looking great as a result. I haven't been keeping up with that at all, to be fair. I've been so busy with work and research and the AMAs and things. I haven't had a lot of chance to keep up with news, to be honest with you. Have I looked at the Uniglow pre-sale? That is not one I've heard of, no. I mean, if you think it's any good though, Beamon, please do hop into that Discord. The link is in my bio. It's completely free. Just drop that in the research request channel and I will have a look at it. I need to get a few of those done this week. Reza, let's have a look for your question. Reza, is this just a tease to try and get me to look at it? Yeah, I haven't seen a question from Reza, so unless he asks it again, it's not going to get answered. That's why it's posted last. If anything happens, it's bag refill time. Yeah, absolutely. Never invest 100% from your capital. Start with 50, new shorts, another 25%, and so on. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you should go all in on anything. I've still got very, very decent bag of stable coins waiting. I started DCAing again when Bitcoin came back down to 20K. I did think it would come back down after it went to 17.6 and back up to 20 plus. I thought it would come back down. I mean, we are below 19, or we just popped back up above 19 actually, but we are being squeezed into a very narrow area of support and resistance in a triangle. And if when that generally happens, it either goes up or down depending on the bullishness of the market. For me personally, I'm very bearish short term. We are in a recession. Macroeconomics are awful. There's a war pending. I think stocks, crypto, and everything could crash very, very hard. But in that comes great opportunity, and that's why I'm sitting on stable coins. I'm not going to go all in. I don't want to time the exact bottom. I just want to have something on hand in case we do see much cheaper prices. So absolutely, I'd never go all in, and I do spread that risk as well across various projects. Backing up the truck on XRD, dApps go live in Q2. XRD is Radix. Radix is a very, very good DeFi, dedicated DeFi blockchain. I know Ace Database up there is a very, very firm believer and supporter in that project. And I have to agree, it's very, very good. The only reason I'm not into that project is because I've got so many other things I'm invested in right now. Have I been enjoying the BBC podcast, The Missing Crypto Queen, all about OneCoin? That's not one I've seen yet, actually. I do need to catch up on iPlayer and get into that one. I need to have a listen to that. Do I hold XRT and GRT? GRT I do not hold. XDC I do. And I do intend to buy more XDC. I think it's an undervalued, underrated network. It is ISO compliant. But I'm not really into XDC just for ISO. I touched on it earlier. ISO, and I think a few creators are touching on it now as well. I think people are under the impression that anything that is ISO will turn to gold. It's not the case. ISO 222 is a standard that financial institutions and practices will work to. Cryptos are establishing themselves to work to that standard so that they can support those businesses and practices. So it's actually, it's not actually them that will directly benefit from ISO, it's those businesses and those projects. And no one's guaranteed to be supported through that project. So for me, I like all of the ISO projects, but because of what they do long term, ISO, I think, is something to be bullish about, but you shouldn't expect action in November because of that. I think we'll see a few projects run up where people are taking advantage of the misconception that ISO is suddenly going to blow the market up in November. That's not going to happen. But as a long-term thing, anything that does get adopted as a result of ISO, any of these projects that work with legitimate financial businesses that adhere to that practice, they will benefit, but we don't know who they are yet. Cardano, Zach, I mean, although I respect it and I think it deserves respect, they had a very slow 2021. I don't respect the team for letting that happen. They have got more developers on that network now doing better things, but I've still yet to see anything that really blow my socks off. So I'm still not into Cardano. And I think the size of Cardano is as well. I'm looking for big ROIs. I don't think I'll get those in Cardano. Creator of OneCoin is now on the FBI's most wanted list. This is it. These people are coming out of the woodwork, and governments and institutions are going for them. There's not a lot of hiding in crypto, so I'm not surprised to see CEOs standing down from exchanges. You get to the top very quickly only by cutting corners, and that's what a lot of them did. More stellar knowledge sharing and good stuff. You're more than welcome, Phil. Absolutely welcome, buddy. Very good to have you on board. You know, you're always here supporting me. I 100% appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. Always very positive as well. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes, everyone. We're up to 7.5K likes. That's absolutely brilliant. Just take the opportunity to say that all my socials and the YouTube link are in my bio. Please join that Discord as well. It's completely free. We've got another AMA on Monday with a quality project. You're going to absolutely love it. Proper utilitarian use case. Do your research. The link to their sites is there as well in my bio. But join the YouTube as well, because whenever I'm live, you can come and have a look at the charts and things that I'm looking at. It just helps visually explain what I'm trying to say. I think a lot of people that go to YouTube really like it on there. But yeah, I mean, just taking that opportunity to shield myself a little bit, get you over there. The more people we have on YouTube, the more people I have on Twitter, the more likely we are to get even more AMAs of a higher quality through. So we can just keep getting stronger and stronger. I want to make these AMAs a big thing, because these give us the opportunity in the Discord to get access to these teams. They'll tell us how these things are built from the inside out, who they're working with, how the tokenomics work, who their VCs are. They'll share all of that if you ask the questions. So they are quality. They are gold to get these in. As I said, that Discord, completely free. You don't pay for a thing. It's free information. And, what's wrong with that? But as I said, the more of you there are there, the more attractive it is to them to come in and do. So please, if you're interested in crypto, you want to get into projects early, or you want to understand projects better, which ones will succeed, which won't, get into these AMAs, get into Twitter spaces, do all of that stuff. They're really informative. And last night's was absolutely fantastic. All I've got to do is compress the audio file, because it's over a gig and I can't post it. I've got to compress the audio file, and then I can put it up in the Discord so anyone who wants to can hear it back. But yeah, I mean, it's a big file. We were on for an hour and a half, and it was quality, the whole hour and a half. So I can't cut any of it out. So yeah, as I said, if you want any of that stuff, hop into the Discord. The links are in the bio. Right, but getting back to the charts at the moment, so hourly on Bitcoin, let's have a look. So still sideways and down a little bit. The current hourly candle is green, but the volume's looking pretty poor. If we have any more sales, it will dip down. We are hovering above 19. But as I said, Bitcoin for me on the weekly is right in the corner of a triangle. That is not healthy. That's not a good place to be. Not at all bullish right now. So for me, that breaks down quite strongly in the next week or two to the downside. I do not like the look of this at all with Bitcoin. We need some very positive news. Otherwise, Bitcoin is going to struggle. If you're on YouTube, you can see there the weekly chart. I mean, we are right in the corner of that crossover in the triangle. Chop file into 30-minute sections. Yeah. I mean, the problem I've got is that on Discord, it won't let you post a file over 30 megabits. That's if you're paying for their premium subscription. So I'd have to chop it into a lot of files. So at the moment, it's on a 1 gig WAV file. I'm going to try and compress it into an MP3 file. That should hopefully get it down. Is Gala a good coin? I do like Gala as a project. Is it a good coin? I really don't know. I think the project's got promise. As a platform for gaming, I'd much rather invest in a platform. It's out, it works, it's got games on there, you can use it, it's got a use case. Will it survive the bear market? I really don't know. But it is a quality project, and my 13-year-old son is stood here taking the mickey out of me. So if I jump up with my hands outstretched, you know what I'm doing? I'm throttling him. I'm not joking, I don't really. Could Quant go back below 100 soon? Every chance it could, Vanfish, but who knows? We really don't know. 500 Gala and buying more, it's cheap. I know there's a guy in here very regularly, Bricks and Slides. He loves Gala. It's one of his top 3 holds, and he loves his crypto. Yeah, I could try a lower res. To be fair, the audio is good quality, so I might try a lower resolution. Half in Bitcoin in Earn, and you can just forget about it. True. Right then, folks. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am going to wind it up there for you. I'm going to wind it up slightly earlier than I normally do, purely because late night last night. I've got a few things I still need to do this evening. But as I said, if you're in here, please do follow me here. Also, check out all my socials. If you can, subscribe to YouTube, join the Discord, follow Twitter, all that good stuff, all free. Then that really helps everyone out in the community. I'm trying to put in AMAs, and those stats are what pull them in. The more people we get in to listen, the more likely they are to join us. So please jump on board, do all that stuff for us. And remember, there's a link in my bio to an AMA this coming Monday with Serenity Shield. Make sure you're in there for that. That is going to be a stonker. I'll catch you all very soon. Thank you for your time. You are too cheeky.